Hello, hello, hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
Hello, hello
My name is
Russell.
Luis, as always.
Hola Luis. Hello Simon, or Simon with the English accent is better. Hi everyone. So let's go for a new session. Glad to have you back. A lot of people registered for this one. So basically, I'm gonna do a big reminder of HelloLeo and what we're doing here. But today is the discovering of how AI can transform the way you handle warehouse and your warehouse management system, which is basically sometimes quite epic in the way you manage it. And definitely AI can ease your process. It can help you build amazing things so that on an operational way, you get like much more efficient than before. Just to do a reminder, so I'm Honoré and here is Augustine. We are the founders of HelloLeo. HelloLeo, basically, it's an AI developer agent that sits on top of your Odoo systems. So we basically perfectly know your system, perfectly know your data, and it's like really a one-click connect on your Odoo system, and then it can build anything for you, just like a developer could do, custom modules, creating dashboard, analytics system, and specific applications, just like we're going to see today on the warehouse management system. So as always, the goal of this session is to do a training for you to show you how easy it is to use AI and like to what extent you can build something truly amazing and working in 30 minutes for your team on the field. So today we're build something for like your people working in a warehouse. We're going to see three different things. We're going to show you that it's possible for them to have a nice interface like inside their warehouse, to be able to handle every operations and be able to have much more visibility than before. We're going to address the offline capability. A lot of you guys come to us asking, is it possible to have something that works offline if we don't have any network? And yes, definitely, with a solution like HelloLeo, you can build offline modules for your people on the field. And the third things we're gonna be seeing is everything around the pickers and delivery. How do you manage everything, and how is it possible to again ease your process and like do operational move forward. Let's say it like that. So Augustin, maybe you can share your screen and start building from scratch. If you got any question, you know it's in the Q&A. Please, a lot of you guys always ask in the chat, and I'm a bad student. I'm always answering in the chat, and it's not right to do that. So put your question in the Q&A, and while Augustin is building, I'm going to be answering your questions all along. But really nice to have you again from so many countries. Today we've got like people building on HelloLeo from more than 80 countries. So amazing to see how like Odoo is like worldwide now, and how all of you guys want to build with AI on top of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Honore, for the intro. And yes, as Honore said, don't hesitate to ask your questions in Q&A during the live. And we'll go from like building to answering questions. We can even update the building direction to your suggestions if it's convenient. So don't hesitate to ask questions during the live. There are processes during which HelloLeo is building. It's quite long sometimes. Don't hesitate to ask your questions. And as Honore said, we have like more than 2,000 companies on HelloLeo today, and I think more than half of them are manufacturing or related fields types of companies. So we see, I think one of our top use cases is inventory management. Like we see a lot of applications concerning inventory management, warehouse management. So this is why we choose to address this one today. And as Honore said, we also have some specific very common features that we see a lot, such as offline capabilities. So I'll start building right now. So as always, I'll first connect my Odoo, and then I'll present like the prompt I'll use to start.
So connecting Odoo, basically, it's like really easy. If you've got any question on that, you can ask us. But like taking an API key of your Odoo system, like most of our users know, it's like really easy. You can find it. You can find a tutorial in HelloLeo. But finding your API key on Odoo is like really important because it makes our AI agent able to access your data within your Odoo system. And again, I know for you guys, it's so important. All your data are encrypted. We don't see nothing on our side. And we make sure like security is at stake. So we make sure that everything is preserved and safely stored. So don't worry on that. And if you want any documentation because you are an integrator or because you want to have like things around security, we can send you over documentation on that.
Absolutely. Honoré, can you see my screen?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay, perfect. So I just connected my Odoo, so Leo has access to it. So for new users that don't know the HelloLeo platform, this is the first step. So HelloLeo can contextualize, and I have a simple prompt to start. So today we'll really focus on the warehouse operations, and as I said, one of the big gap, the big pain point we can have, we see a lot with Odoo is responsivity, like to be able to access some data and interact with the data using a mobile-friendly interface, such as a tablet or a phone, can be a bit tricky. And the goal here is to first build the basis of our mobile web app-friendly application. So I'll start with this prompt, mobile-friendly warehouse app, connected to my Odoo inventory module. So everything like the data will be coming directly from my existing Odoo, which is here, and I will show you in a minute. And I'll launch my prompt so Leo can start working. So I'll start with a basic homepage where I can see today's pending operations. So the receipts to process, transfers to do, and deliveries to prepare. So this will really be a mobile interface for warehouse operators that need to manage their daily operations better. So as always, Leo will first contextualize. Here it's quite simple. He only went on to check my, first of all, that my Odoo is connected and that I have the module that he needs to build the application. So here, the stock picking part of the inventory module. And he went on to create the full application. So he's now creating the basic folders. And sorry, I just forgot to mention something. I also added the links to sign up for new users. You have the link to sign up, to HelloLeo for free if you want to try, connect your Odoo and spin up an application for free. The link is pinned in the chat, and you also have the link to our Discord community where we plan to have more and more like Odoo experts sharing tips, and of course the team, the HelloLeo team will share more and more tips about building like on Odoo. You also find use cases on the Discord community, so feel free to click the link and join.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people here. Hi, Jason. Hi, Jonathan. A lot of faces we know.
And hi, Jose Antonio. Nice to see you here.
Yeah, Jose is an amazing integrator in Chile. You must discover his YouTube channel, which is like amazing content on Odoo area for South America and like America as well.
And very nice use cases as well, very nice ideas, and of course now a great HelloLeo builder. So check out his YouTube channel, especially if you speak Spanish, but it's also translated in English. So very interesting stuff. Thank you for being here, Jose Antonio.
So can you update us, Augustin, on what's happening? So we got a lot of messages on the left.
Yeah, sorry.
Is it important to read the messages?
Yeah, it is. And actually, it's a good point because yesterday a user told me, I will be fully transparent with you guys. User told me that she wasn't reading the messages from Leo. So very bad student because it was too long, because it was too technical. This is a very fair point. And I just told her like, okay, tell Leo more about your technical expertise, like tell him you're not technical, to save the information and to reduce the text to the most important elements. And so Leo like saved it to his memories, and now she reads the text. She reads the text that Leo is sharing. So it's important to read the text. If it's too long, if it's inappropriate, like if it's not relevant, just ask Leo to change his behavior. So it is. And we have a first basic interface here. So mobile friendly, a bit too mobile friendly actually, because of course it is mobile friendly, but I also want maybe a desktop version. So I will customize it later, because our first goal is to have a mobile interface. And I can see that I have data here. So quite nice. I have deliveries. I have receipts. The design is quite simple, but this is what I asked for in my initial prompt. Sorry, noisy. Can you hear me well? No?
Yeah, we do hear you. We hear you perfectly.
Okay. And this data, very important, is coming from my Odoo. I have some errors that I can debug with Leo, and I will explain that in a minute. But if I just reload, check the data. Yeah, and these are my API calls coming from Odoo. So I can see that I have a lot of data coming from stock picking. And if I go to my receipt, sorry.
Yeah, again, it's really important. What you see, for people that don't know HelloLeo, what you see is like real Odoo data, but that lives on top of your Odoo systems, which is basically really important, because like your data in Odoo, they're so important. It's the single source of truth for your organization. It's like the system of records for your organization. But however, just like sometimes the interface is like difficult to use, difficult to manage. And what we do with HelloLeo, basically, we make your Odoo system headless. So we take the data from Odoo, but the interface that you see, the nice interface that Augustin just built in one prompt, it just uses your data from Odoo, and it can send back information to your Odoo system.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can see that the data is already correct, so which is very nice. I can see this work order directly here. Sorry, it's coming from my Odoo. So it's an order for office chair. So I have 35 units that were ordered, and if I click my order here, I can see that the product was identified correctly, and I have my units here ready to be. Sorry, it's a receipt. So the status is ready, and I can validate it here. I can also add a validation process. So I didn't ask for validation yet in the application, but this is definitely something that I can do. But first of all, I want to right now skip to a use case that we see a lot in HelloLeo main projects, the barcode scanner. Using the phone or tablet device camera. This is a very common use case. The goal here is to be able to scan products that you like. The situation would be you're in the warehouse and the delivery truck that arrived in the morning just arrived, and the operator will grab the first pallet and start scanning products. The goal is to know which product is it, how much do we already have of this product, where is it going. So I can ask to add a barcode scanner using the device camera and to show the product card. So here I will ask for information. So this is interesting because this is information coming from Odoo, but the interface is key here, and we have a lot of customers that have operators working on the field, in the warehouse. They really need not to have to move around multiple interfaces. So the goal here is when you scan a product to have everything in one place. And this is a quite common application. So I will ask for name, image, current stock by location. But of course, what's really powerful about this is that every warehouse, every company has its own necessities, and you're able to customize it in 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, using HelloLeo. So it's all about customizations. So it's really the application that you need.
Yeah, amazing. And while Leo is thinking and answering, I take the opportunity to answer the question of Hudson. So Hudson asks a really good question. What positions does HelloLeo offer is differentiation between HelloLeo and Odoo SH or Cloud Code? So it's really good. So you got the two big players, Odoo SH or Cloud Code. So basically, just like you've seen, using HelloLeo is much more simpler than using Cloud Code and much safer. Much simpler because as you've seen, it's one-click connection to your Odoo system. So it's really easier because we are dedicated to the Odoo system and Cloud is not. And then, and really an important thing around the differentiation between Cloud Code and HelloLeo is like Cloud Code is not a safe environment. It's an environment made for developers that know their way around and know like how to put guardrails so that they don't make mistakes. If you decide to connect your Cloud Code to Odoo, well, you're going to do amazing things, but you can also break a lot of things. And again, Odoo is like your single source of data. It's a single source of truth of your organization. You don't want to put hallucinations in that. And that's why HelloLeo exists. It's because we sit on top. And so the application is built on the exterior part of Odoo. And so
absolutely.
because
and if I can add something about that, well, totally aligned. And this is a whole environment. As you said, you have the deploy, we maintain a secured connection to your Odoo environment, which you will have to maintain yourself. And we are more and more like specializing on specific areas that we see a lot. And for instance, we have the questions of integrations because Odoo does not live alone. Most of our clients, they have Odoo, for instance, for accounting, but they won't manage payroll inside Odoo. They will use a specific tool, usually a tool that is specific to their country. For instance, we are happy to have clients in Germany, in France, in the US. They all have different payroll platforms. And we are adding more and more integrations every week. And right now we are focusing on specific areas. And for instance, we have new integrations in the payroll area that are coming next week. And the goal here is to have to be able to rely on this whole environment where every tool that you would use would already be integrated by HelloLeo. For instance, if you need to build a dashboard that will reconciliate your Odoo accounting data with your payroll data, you have everything in the same place. And of course, if you want to do that with Cloud Code, it's you have to rebuild everything from scratch, which is very complicated.
Yeah, of course. And concerning Odoo SH, the difference with Odoo SH and the difference with Odoo SH is mainly Odoo SH. Well, if you're not running on Odoo SH, so you cannot use the power of AI. So basically, that's the first interest between HelloLeo versus Odoo SH. And then, really important, when you build with Odoo SH, you build it inside the Odoo's framework. So you cannot build anything you want. You need to rely on, for example, the dashboarding system of Odoo, which is like pretty lame. Same for everything that is in the Odoo framework. What you can do with HelloLeo, again, it's putting Odoo headless. So if you want to create an HR management portal for people in your organization that don't have a paying Odoo license, but are on free portal users role, you can do it with HelloLeo, and you can't do it again with Odoo SH. There is really this fact that with HelloLeo, you've got the power of being on top, on being outside of Odoo and outside of Odoo's framework. Yeah, basically it's really important, but we do have a documentation on that. While Augustin is speaking, I'm going to share you the documentation in the chat.
And so the scan barcode just appeared on my screen, so cool. I want to test it using my computer to test it quickly. So I just asked Leo to add the possibility to, in addition to the scanning barcode with my camera, to enter manually the product barcode. So it should be over in a few seconds, and I don't have my inputs. Let me just reload.
So it's really cool. The main goal of the objective, what we're doing here, is to show you that meeting bugs, it's not like something really you should block at. You should be blocked. When you have a bug, you should react just like Augustin is reacting. So really safely trying to find like the fix it for me button, or try to speak with Leo. And again, if you enter some big feedback bug loops, you can just like Jason, I was going to speak about you, Jason. You can just like write to us in the chat. And again, our team is like always answering. We've got people in the US now, in France, in the UK. So if you got any question, we are always answering quite with some reactivity. And so there is a question for Jason, by Jason. What are the differentiations between using HelloLeo for digitization versus a native digitization features in Odoo? I'm not sure what you mean by digitization. I'm sorry, Jason, can you be more specific in your question? And while
I'm not sure either. Sorry.
Yeah.
And while Jason is maybe adding some precision, I'm just fixing my. Oh, hello. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay, you can see me directly in my screen. So this is a bit disappointing. Of course, you would see a product barcode and some packages if I was using my my phone. But now I will just try. Like I will ask you to give me a product barcode from my Odoo that I can use to test the app. So I'm very lazy, so I won't even go into my Odoo to get the product barcode. I will ask Leo to fetch it, and it's very fast. So it's a good shortcut. So let me check. I have a few products here coming from my Odoo, and I will try the bolt item because we have a very specific product inventory. And let me check this one. Okay, nice. So I don't have any stock. So I found the boat. I have my image. So very nice. But the stock by location is showing 0. Let me try another one. And okay, so it works. This is another product, my customizable desk. Sorry, and we have 65 units of this product in this location. And the location, I think I only have one location of this product. But yeah, the goal here would be the use case we see with this is when you have several locations, it can be useful to know like how many products you have per location, what's their status. So again, really depends on what information you need to display. But as you can see, it's super easy to customize. And again, in the barcode scanner applications that we've seen built on the platform, all are different, all are very specific. But yeah, the stock by location can be quite useful. And any question while I'm
I'm gonna answer the question of Jason because I do understand it now. Thank you for the specification. So basically, and to answer Jason on that, it's really important to rely the most possible on Odoo. So if you got some feature, well, Odoo is like pretty good. For example, the OCR or anything where they now can like bring some really backend or automation that works. Let's rely on Odoo the more you can. However, if you got some specific UI, some specific interface that you want to be building for some specific teams, operators, finance teams, or I don't know, management teams, well, that's where HelloLeo is really good at. So you can build the specific UI with HelloLeo. You can add custom logic on top, but this logic can reuse some power of Odoo's system. So if you are using, I don't know, the OCR capabilities of Odoo, or if you want to use some other like digital feature of Odoo, yeah, let's use it. And you can use it through HelloLeo. But the fact of using HelloLeo headless, to put Odoo headless, is like you have much more capacity than before, because you can decide to rely on Odoo, or you can decide to rely on other third-party tool. You can go into our settings. So we got more than 2,000 integrations. And so if you want to rely on another third party for a specific task, you can do it. So basically with HelloLeo, you get much more power. I can give you an example because we were seeing that, and it's a really good one. For example, the fact of printing, I don't know, a file, a document from Odoo, when you click on print, it just prints you in PDF. And so then you need to print the PDF, go on your desktop and print the PDF. If you build with HelloLeo the same UI, the same interface, you can add a custom logic where when you click on print, it's already connected to your own printing machine. And so it can print in a sec and not going through the PDF file. So again, you get much more agility by building the interface and the front end on HelloLeo and not doing it inside Odoo system. I hope I did answer your question. Please don't hesitate if it's not the case. There is another question from César in Espanol. Cesar is asking about the price. I'm going to show you the price of HelloLeo. Definitely, AI comes at a cost. I'm going to send you the documentation in the chat. But just for you to remember, basically, we are based on the results. So the more you build applications and the more you build models, the more you will be able to, the more you will pay for HelloLeo. Definitely, you pay for the building credits and for the runtime. So when you build the application and you deploy it, it's going to be working like with us managing your infrastructure.
And in addition to that, we also see a lot of companies, like we have more and more companies that have complex projects that cannot just be, like it's not so easy to build out of nothing. And we are also building new plans for this enterprise where we add some support, like of course some custom support to help them build, but also like some training, and the goal is to have them running in production as soon as possible. So if you're interested in this kind of custom support, don't hesitate to send us a chat on the HelloLeo web app or to book a meeting with us.
Yeah. And I'm answering the question of Bas. So could we replace print mode for Odoo as well? Yeah, definitely. Again, that's the whole interest of HelloLeo. You've got some rules inside your Odoo system that are completely nuts. For example, if you click on print, there is another use case amazing built by one of our clients, is redoing the label printing into and the label customization into HelloLeo instead of Odoo, because making labels on Odoo, you are trapped into a system where there are a lot of limitations. And what our client is doing is just like building a completely new system of labeling outside of HelloLeo, outside of Odoo, inside HelloLeo. And now we can just like print the label outside of HelloLeo using Odoo's data. So it's an amazing use case, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the subject of next Build in Live. There is another question from Pragna. How Odoo partners can work with your toolkits to deliver business scenarios? Yeah, it's a really good one. So basically, we've got a lot of Odoo partners working with us. Definitely, we've got a page on Odoo partners. I'm going to share you the page if you want to discuss it further. Let's not trap everyone between us for this discussion. I'm going to share you the link. And Augustin, you can show us what you are doing.
Yeah. So what I asked you to build was the offline capabilities part, because as I said, we have like a lot of situations where network won't be so reliable. So you have warehouses with big thick walls. You will have salespeople in the field like that needs to update the CRM, for instance, the opportunities, the leads directly when they are in the field, and sometimes the network is very bad, and it still happens. And of course, you have field workers, like operators that will intervene on the ground, for instance, where the network is very bad. And the goal is for them to be able to, first cache some information, so information that they need when they are offline. And of course, when they are offline, they will need to input some data, and when they are back online, they want this data to be saved and queued and updated directly to the database, to their Odoo. So this is what I asked Leo to build, to work, to make the application, the web application that we built, to work offline. And again, working offline can mean a lot of things. I explained that there is some caching the existing data and queuing the data that you want to write later in the database. So, but it really depends on what you're building. But here it's quite a good example of the main situations where you would need some offline capabilities. So first, let's imagine that in my warehouse, the location where I scan products when they arrive by trucks is a very bad network area, so not very lucky. So I want first to cache the product catalog locally. So the product catalog coming from my Odoo, I want to cache it in my web application that we've just built. And I also want to queue stock movements So when I want to scan or update a stock, I want it to be queued in local storage. And so when the connection comes back, it will be synced to my Odoo and cleared the batch. Of course, the batch is also important to inform me that there are still elements offline that needs to be taken on. So I also asked Leo to how can I test it on my phone, and Honoré, I don't know if you can. I've never tried this actually, so I would try to join on my phone. If you can accept me with my phone, I don't know if I can use the same.
Let's see, building live. Let's do things live. So I hope you guys are realizing how amazing it is, because I know a lot of you are asking us that, the offline capabilities. Okay, so you've got some remote teams where they're on the field and they don't have network, and with Odoo, well, basically they cannot connect because their application is like made just to work with network. What we're doing right now for this use case of warehouse management, but it can be done for field service teams that are salespeople on the field, it's building an application with offline capabilities. So you can use like an application, but without network. And then when you get back the network, it sends back information to your Odoo system. So I hope you guys are realizing how crazy it is. It's typically something amazing you can do with Leo because we're headless. So we are building outside of Odoo. And it's another thing to answer the question before of Hudson between Odoo SH and HelloLeo. You cannot do things like that inside Odoo. It's impossible. So let's do it, Augustin.
I'm entering the room. Sorry.
So
I just published my app. So by the way, sorry for that.
Problem of sound. I'm gonna do some just a word on that. So when Augustin is publishing the application, however, and we're gonna show it to you right after, you can publish the application inside your Odoo dashboard. So it means that inside Odoo, where you see all your applications, you will be able to see the application that you just made with HelloLeo, just like a custom module that sits on top of Odoo, but it will be accessible inside your Odoo. We're going to show it to you right after Augustin is doing that. And I'm going to answer a question. Ketan, where that the builds gets hosted? So we are based in Europe, actually, like Odoo. So all our servers are based in Europe for the moment. We are GDPR compliant, and again, security is really at stake for us. So if you want us to share with you documentation around that, no worries. And another question from Raphael, and then I'm going to go in the Q&A. Raphael, with this AI, what is the risk of hallucinations? Yeah, it's a really good one. While developing the app or at the report compared to other APIs, other AIs, I'm sorry. So basically what's amazing with software development applications is like when you use AI to build, it's going to be deterministic at the end. So once you build, okay, there can be some hallucinations. So that's where you need to iterate. And that's why we're doing those kind of lives to show you how to iterate to obtain a result. But once you're reaching a result, this result is like code. So it's deterministic. Once it's working, it's going to be working. So it's something really important. Yes, you can cross some hallucinations, but at the end, if you have your result, which is an application, then it's going to be working the same way. And I think it's something really different from what you guys are hearing a lot, like using your Odoo data through MCP inside Cloud or inside ChatGPT. I know you guys, you are all in Cloud or in ChatGPT, and you want to ask questions on your Odoo system, and so you are using MCP server to ask questions. So when you make a request like that, so in Cloud, let's say, what are my performance of the last month, my sales performance of the last month? Well, it is subject to hallucination because it's a new request each time, and each time it goes through AI. So as it goes through AI each time, it can do some mistakes. And that's the difference between using your data in Odoo through MCP to ask questions and building applications just like we do. I hope it was clear. I'm going to go to in the Q&A because there was some questions. Question from Ronnie, how do I connect HelloLeo to an Odoo instance? Well, we just showed it before, Ronnie. It's like, Augustin is showing it. So you just need to click on the button, and then it's going to be asking you some question. If you have if you want some complementary information, you can ask us just right after. There is a tutorial on the website. Actually, I'm going to share you the link. What AI model does Leo use? Yeah, it's a really good question. So basically, inside our agent, we are using different AI models, but basically the one you know. So we are using Opus from Anthropic 4.7. We are using ChatGPT as well, and we're using different AI models. Well, when you ask a question, for example, hey, how are you doing, Leo? We try to use cheaper models. Basically, it's our agent decides, but basically we're using the same AI on the market, except that when you use it with Leo, it's in a protected and safe environment dedicated to your Odoo instance. Other question and a really good one.
Before the next question, we have a lot, but this is great. Well, I just learned that we cannot share our screen on our mobile screen on Webinar Jam, so sorry for that. I'll just update the application so we can maybe show what elements are cached. And of course, I'll share this one as a template after our live session, so anyone can like test it on his phone by just closing the Wi-Fi and trying to load the products. But right now I will just so I added just a little display to see what's offline. So right now I'm online, so I don't have any cached products. And actually, this is not a bad feature, like to know exactly if my products were synchronized in local, because even if it's offline, maybe I need to like activate something to download the product catalog in local, and having some way to display it is not a bad idea. So now I will just like say, okay, great. My I see 0 cache products. Sorry, connection status, queued action, a delete button. Oh, it's to flush the queue. So how do I download products? And we see what Leo says to that. The cache only fields as products are scanned one by one. Oh, okay, so this is a limitation from my earlier prompt. Good thing we iterated. So I have 103 products in my Odoo instance. Quite easy to manage. Of course, we have clients that have much more, like much bigger catalogs with thousands of products. Again, this is not an issue because this data is not so heavy. And of course, Leo is trying, like we added some skills, so it builds scalable systems and interfaces. So he will, for instance, here, he will paginate patches. So he will not try to call the whole product database in one shot. He will like create a system to download them like page by page. And I'll try that right away. And during the download, if you want to take another question, Honore.
Yeah, I'm going to take because there are a lot of them. So there is a question from Fabrice, which is a really good one, showing that Fabrice is looking at the webinar quite like deeply. Thank you, Fabrice, because we should have been talking about Zebra. And of course, you guys own a warehouse, you know Zebra. Zebra is basically the barcode scanner dedicated for that. And so the question of Fabrice is, can we use this application with Zebra device, so barcode scanner? So you use GS1 barcodes. And the issue is that our French and Italian suppliers don't use the system the same way. Is it possible for HelloLeo to interpret the barcode based on the supplier? Yes, definitely. So it's a really good one. Again, we don't say to you by building an application with Leo that you should stop using Zebra. I think it's complementary. So using Zebra is amazing because it's really good for operators, but then Zebra can be immediately connected to your Odoo system, and so to HelloLeo, to an application built on HelloLeo, to be able to, well, display the data immediately inside the warehouse, even if it's offline, because it's going to be working like quite well. Or if you want to use the application that Augustin is showing you, yes, of course, you can just like while building it, speak with Leo and give it the information that you are speaking about, which is like that you have different ways according to French or Italian suppliers. It's a different way of relying on the information and reading the information. And you can create like a matching table so that your application works. So when it's an Italian supplier or when it's a French supplier in different ways. So basically you can do it. And I like to say that during the live, with AI, sky is the limit. So you decide what you want to build, and it's fully possible to do some customization. Sometimes you will need to use the chat mode because the chat mode will help you think about the architecture. So the plan mode is the one where there is a little button just on the prompt box. And so you can chat with Leo to ask exactly this question that you asked, Fabrice, and Leo is going to propose you an architecture of the right way to code the application for your use case.
And Fabrice, by the way, it's a use case that we've seen recently, like GS1 barcodes. It was, I think, with a UK manufacturer. So if you want to like discuss it more in depth, don't hesitate to like book a slot in our calendar. It's a very good use case. So always happy to like analyze this kind of use case and discuss it. So
yeah, I'm going to share my calendar as well. And there is a really good question. And thank you because Sam already answered it. So I share my calendar, so you got it. So the question from Matthias was, what's happening if, well, I upgrade from one version to another version of Odoo? Let's say I go from Odoo 19 to Odoo 20 or something like that. Well, just like you said, it's just one prompt. You just say to Leo, okay, I'm upgrading from this version to this version, and then all your applications can be upgraded. And again, HelloLeo, we've got a team dedicated to understand Odoo and to know every version of Odoo because we work with every version. So we know the right endpoints. And if you change your Odoo's version, it's going to be one prompt to fix the apps on Leo. So no worries on that. And thank you, Sam, because Sam told us that he just lived that. I had a minor update from Odoo 19 to Odoo 19.2 and just asked Leo to check all data links in the app, and it fixed it where it needed. So it worked well. Thank you, Sam, for your experience. And again, I was even going to share the use case of JSON because, again, I think, and one use case we're going to go deeper because it's amazing. If you want to change the ERP system, let's say part of you guys run their business on Business Central or on NetSuite or on SAP. Let's say you want to change from one ERP system to another. With HelloLeo, it's going to be exactly the same as switching from Odoo 18 to Odoo 20, because you are going to build your applications on top of SAP or on top of Odoo. And when you want to change the ERP, basically you will just need to say to HelloLeo, say, okay, I'm changing the ERP. Can you change the API endpoints of my ERP, because I'm switching from one ERP to another. And that's our vision of what we're going to do in the future. We're going to make our customer able to switch from one ERP to another, like in the easiest way possible. Again, you're going to need an integrator because you're going to need to think about the new ERP, how it works, the data model and everything. But then switching from one to another is going to be easier. All your application lives in Leo, and it's going to be so easier. Your team would not even notice you change the ERP. So that's in a perfect word, and that's where we are heading.
Just a quick note about as always during the live, good ideas are coming up, and actually this is something that could be quite useful to. I don't think I have seen that in the offline web apps that we've seen built on HelloLeo, but so to simulate the offline capabilities of my application, I ask Leo to add an offline mode directly to my application. Oh, it's sending here, and this is not exactly how I saw it, but the goal is to activate the offline mode. When I'm offline, all the operations that I will perform in the web app will not be directly synchronized with my Odoo, but will be added to the queue, just like when I'm offline, and only synchronized when network is back. Sorry,
Sorry, it's me.
I don't know if it's your microphone. Any noise on mine?
No, I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, the goal is to like simulate this. So I will try to do it quickly, and let me just remove that. So my queue here is empty. So let's say, oh, I can activate my offline mode here. So this is what I want. So now I'm in offline mode. It should say offline here, but I'm in offline mode. So let's test it. I have like my items here, my receipts, and I want to validate one. So let's just first check it here. It's not validated. We'll just reload here. And the goal is to have it validated after I'm like outside I'm back online. So I'm in offline mode right now. So if I validate, it should not validate. Queued, we'll think when back online. This is great. This is exactly what I want. Let's reload. It's still not validated. Okay, so this is cool. And now if I go to my offline capabilities, action queue, okay, I can see my operation being queued here. So validate this item. And now I cannot validate actually. Oh yeah, because I'm still in offline mode. So let's go back in online. So I'm now out of the offline zone, sync on action, and let's see. I didn't pay attention to the API and it didn't validate. So not good. It should have. And I will just try again. And I will, maybe on the way I can take the opportunity to show how to debug this.
Exactly. I was going to tell you that it's really important for people to know that debugging is like really part of the fact of building and show the network. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start again. So my little network tool here is very useful because with AI, context is super important. So this is my connection to my Odoo through the API. Every request will be shown here. So I will go back here, activate the offline mode. And here I see that I have some operations, some errors, but I think they are just like errors, like maybe a threshold from the API. So I will just clear my network monitor here and go to my receipt. So another API call here, we'll clear that. So I can inspect. If I validate, I see that I don't have any API call, which is good because I'm in offline mode. And if I go back here, I will just clear it all again. And now go back to online and sync. And I see that I have two API calls, which are both, I should have only one actually, which are both like successful. So I will share this. This is how we can like, debug API calls. Usually it's to debug errors, but here I don't have any errors. So I will just share this code and I will add this little comment, like everything seems to be working perfectly, except for the sync at the end. This call. Well, I will just item like receipt. Sorry, receipt was not validated on the Odoo side. And I will just check Odoo again just to be sure, but yeah, it's not validated. And okay, so again, if I don't know exactly the technical behind, Leo is here for that. And Odoo is waiting for a quality check to be completed first and on this receipt. So this is good. This is like the business rule that I have to respect, and that even external interfaces, such as the ones we are building in HelloLeo, must respect. So this is also why it's quite powerful to build on top of Odoo, is that the interface you will be building will always have to respect the existing business rules. You don't like go around it to directly to the database, which is quite reassuring actually. And now Leo is inspecting the whole quality check module to make sure he adds the necessary elements in my frontend, and he will correct that. So Honoré, if you want to take a question.
I was going to answer some questions. And it's a really good question as well, I saw from Simon. So when I click on publish on the top right, HelloLeo creates an app in our Odoo for the scanner. So that's exactly what's going to happen. And again, I can answer a question from before. I'm not sure it was you, Simon. I think it was Hudson. Around the difference between Cloud Code and HelloLeo. So HelloLeo is like really an easy place to build and deploy application and make some modifications. So when you click on publish, then your version, the last version, will be published, and anyone can use it inside your organization. You can put it inside your Odoo, so anyone can click and then access it. Let's say you want to make some modifications. Well, you can do it, and you can make any modification you want inside the application you built with HelloLeo. If you don't publish, you can make anything. It's not going to affect the end users using HelloLeo. So your end users can still use the previous version, the previous publish. You can make some mistakes. And then once you add a feature, add something, you can publish. And once you publish, the new version is going to be like the new version you built is going to be live and so accessible for everyone of your end users. So it's like
also an answer for Henry, who was asking about breaking like the application, a working app while it is live. And as I said, when you publish the application, you basically create a new version of the application. For instance, this one is a good example because I published it earlier before implementing the offline mode, and I continued working on my application. But this is a development version of my application. And if I go to my published version, which is here, I can see that I don't have exactly the same interface. Like offline mode is missing. I don't have the whole offline caching queue because it was added after. And I don't want to publish it until I'm sure it won't break my working app, because this application is used every day in my warehouse. I don't want to break it. And I can use this publish system to make sure while I'm working on the dev version, I can just like publish. But if by mistake, I publish a broken version of my application, because sometimes you cannot test everything. Well, something very cool is coming to HelloLeo very soon about that, to test everything. But right now, let's say you cannot test everything. You push a broken version of your application. Someone from the warehouse calls you, he cannot scan anymore. You can just go to the history here, go back to the working version and publish again. And then your application is fixed.
Yeah, that's what we call the rollback feature. So you can roll back anywhere you want in the past. And again, Augustin,
I just want to take the opportunity to, no, please.
Yeah, I got the bad role to remind us the clock. It's going to be 52 minutes. So I don't want our guests to be like trapped with us too long. So maybe you can finish what you're.
I'm done here. So quite happy with the results, but you're right. So let's start. Let's check if the last fix from Leo fixed the offline mode. And I think it is the case. So I will just go here. I see that my other receipt was validated. So I think it was in the queue and it was automatically synchronized. So the system seems to be working, but let's try it again. I have this one, this like item that needs to be validated. So let's, I'm in offline mode right now. So I don't have any network, and I can go here. Oh, sorry, moving a bit fast. Yeah. Let's clear that. Validate. No API call. That's good. I'm not connected to the network. And now let's clear that. Let's go to the offline mode. I'm back online, and okay, did it work? And it worked. So this is great.
Amazing.
So now I can just like perform actions maybe for hours. Well, until I'm back online. Sometimes it's not hours, it's just minutes, but you can add your queue. You can even validate them after. Again, new feature that come like popping up during the live. But let's say that you want to, I'm thinking about our like field salespeople, Honoré, but when they are like in a sales trip and they validate their opportunities, maybe at the end they want to review everything before like synchronizing. So you don't want like the real time, but you want to save your opportunities updates while you're checking them. And at the end of the maybe half your day or at the end of the day, you just check your queue and validate them one by one, but they are all saved here. So
amazing. It makes me think about my Garmin clock. You can I can do a run and then it's going to be on my clock offline, and then when I go back to the network, I can just click on it or click on the application, and all my data from my clock gets into my application, my Strava, or anything. It's going to be the same for you guys. When you are in the offline capability, if someone's got a phone inside the warehouse, or if it's a salespeople on the field, he can store information locally, and then when he goes back to network, he can just click, just like Augustin click on send information back to Odoo, and then every information is going to be sent to Odoo. And I'm pretty sure this use case is amazing for you because we hear it a lot. So definitely we know it's going to bring you some value. And I see a question from Cesar, I'm sorry, in Espanol. I didn't answer it. So of course, what you are doing with the inventory, like this inventory module, you can do it on the CRM, you can do it on the help desk, you can do it on the projects module of Odoo. Basically, you can reuse any of the power of Odoo and build things on top. And I think I'm going to close it on that because it's really important. We are going to put this template in this use case and this application in templates. And in the future, for the next year, we want you guys to start using HelloLeo by templates. So it means that when you're going to start an application, please go into the template section of HelloLeo and choose a template and start from a template, because, well, it's much easier because some people just think about this module, so you can get some inspiration from people. Then you don't need to pay for credits to rebuild everything, because if you start from a template, well, basically you're going to be reusing the code that someone used AI and paid for to build it, and then you can just start from this and add your custom fields, add your custom information about your structure, add your own features and everything. So in the future, you will need to, and I think it's going to be a great use case for you, start from templates, because if you got an idea for your warehouse management, try to look in our template section if we don't have something like that, and I'm pretty sure you will find it there. And we are working locally with some integrators so that they build custom application for your needs. For example, we got a lot of customers in Germany that works on an HR payroll solution, which is called Datev. In France, a lot of people are running on Silae. In the US, a lot of people are running on QuickBooks. And integrating your Odoo system with QuickBooks or with Datev or with Silae, we know it's really complicated. And with HelloLeo, we're going to make these integrations one click away, so easy that you can build application on top that takes information from QuickBooks and from your Odoo and do a reconciliation at this level. So it's going to be amazing, and we've got a lot of use case. If you have some ideas of use case, please share it with us. We are always answering really fast. And again, we exist because you guys have needs, and please share us all your needs, share us all the ideas you have. It's amazing because it gives us a lot of power and it gives us a lot of knowledge around what we should do next. So thank you again for being so numerous at this Build It Live event. We were more than 120 that came today. So great.
And I see that a lot of you already joined. I see a lot of our users signups are spiking. So thank you for joining, and also on Discord. So don't hesitate to create your accounts. But thank you to all who already started. I see a lot of people already building. So I think we'll with Honoré we'll get back to the back office, the HelloLeo back office. So feel free to come and join us there and ask any question. We'll be happy to help you build.
Yeah, of course. I'm resending the link. Please, if you got any question, you can as well go into my calendar and take a meeting. It would be a pleasure just to discuss with you and hear about all the use case that you are building. And again, thank you, Augustin, for your energy. I know that building in live is it's an experience because there is basically 120 people looking at you and hoping you make some mistakes, and you are always amazing doing that. So thank you for that. And
thank you for hosting.
Yeah.